Hello, Ruby Ravel here for another edition of The Stars Unraveled. Now, I wanted to talk today a bit more about Neptune, but also my approach to astrology in general. I've always tried to approach astrology from an empirical basis, in that my understanding of the stars and how they influence our lives is derived from my personal observations of the things I see being played out under their auspices. So, in terms of watching the planetary traffic and weather, as it were, not only am I always looking to see how they parallel what's going on inside me and in my own life, but I'm also carefully observing the lives of other people around me and what's happening on the world stage in general, and looking for those kind of overarching themes, those overarching patterns, those synchronicities that are telling me that something important is happening here that is relevant to the planets I'm observing, and I can derive knowledge from them. And at the moment, I mentioned Mercury and Venus squaring Neptune, and how Neptune governs the waters of the unconscious. And I think one thing this transit is really useful for is being an opportunity to explore our own unconscious mind, to explore the waters of our own unconscious and the thoughts and feelings and ideas that we usually put to one side. And I think the way that our unconscious mind most commonly presents itself to us in our day-to-day life is through our dreams and fantasies. The dream, not just the dreams we have at night, but also the daydreams we have, the kind of storylines or dramas that we like to read in books or to see in films, the reason why certain songs or topics just move us for some reason. All of those things can offer little hints of what it is we feel that we're missing in our lives. The unconscious is always where we press down things that are too painful, too bewildering, too confusing, or too emotional for us to process in our waking moments. So we brush it all underground, we keep it out of sight. And because we can't accept that those things are an actual part of us, we have to find a way of othering them. We have to find a way of projecting them. And when we look at those feelings and can say, these aren't real feelings, they're fictional, they're dreams, they're imaginary, it becomes possible for us to find these things in art, in our fantasies, because then we have put this framing device around those parts of ourselves that we can't handle consciously. We've said, this is just a dream and nothing more, and I do not have to attach an I to it. I do not have to attach an ego or an identity to it, when actually those reoccurring fantasies and dreams represent a part of ourself that is starving for expression. It represents some kind of untapped yearning, hope, or desire that we would like in our lives, but because it doesn't seem possible, because it doesn't seem tangible and within reach, we instead allow it just to be this illusion, to be this insubstantial thing we can entertain without the risk of actually making it real. So I think this transit is an opportunity to explore the grief we have, not just for things that we've lost, but the grief for things we're afraid we may never have, the things we yearn for that seem so far removed from where we are right now. Those are the painful fruits of the soul. And I think that's all I have to say for the time being. But if you have any questions or queries, please drop me a line.